She stormed onto my land like she owned every inch of earth and shouted, "Get off my property now." For a second, I actually laughed, because she had no idea whose ground she was standing on. The HOA president, Linda, jabbed a finger toward a massive mansion behind her, white pillars, glass walls, a driveway big enough for 10 SUVs, and snapped, "This entire estate belongs to the HOA. You're trespassing." But something inside me tightened. Because that mansion wasn't supposed to exist. Not here. Not on my land. I pulled out the old map my father left me. Everyone claimed it was outdated, but the boundary lines were clear, and her mansion sat right in the middle of my property. When I showed her the document, she hissed, "Fake. Destroy it if you have to. But you're leaving." She waved her hand and a tall, security guard stepped forward. He grabbed my shoulder, squeezing like he was begging for a reason to shove me. I stared straight into his eyes. "Touch me again," I whispered, "and you."
"You'll regret it." He froze. Just for a second. Like he sensed something he didn't want to test. Linda didn't stop. "You think some dusty paper gives you power? I built this neighborhood. I decide who stays." She leaned in, smiling like the villain in a cheap movie. "And I'm going to bury you if you try anything stupid." I didn't back up. I took a calm breath. "Funny," I said. "You built your mansion on someone else's land." Her smile cracked. "Just barely." But I saw the flash of fear. Then she snapped. "I'll make one call and end your life here." She dialed someone, whispering fast. But I caught one chilling line, "He can't find out the truth." Truth? What truth? Before I could ask, the security guy stepped closer and murmured, "You should go before she gets serious." That's when I noticed his uniform, no agency name, fake badge, gear with no serial numbers. All of it was fake. Just like her power. I looked at her mansion, towering and polished, and a cold realization hit me: if that house really was on my land, everything she built was at risk. I turned to leave, not because I was scared, but because I finally understood what Linda never wanted me to see. I had the upper hand. "Enjoy your mansion while you still can," I said softly. Her face stiffened like I'd slapped her. This wasn't over. Not even close. By the time I reached the edge of the driveway, 3 black SUVs rolled in fast. Doors slammed. Men stepped out in matching jackets, matching boots, matching fake authority. Linda marched toward them. "Remove him. He's trespassing on HOA property." One of the men cracked his knuckles. "Sir, step away or we'll escort you off by force." I smiled. "Escort me, from my land?" Linda folded her arms. "This community exists because of me. Your little paper means nothing. I control who stays, who leaves, and who disappears when they make trouble." I held up my phone. "You really want to
do this in front of a live camera?" One of them laughed. "Phones break." I tapped the screen. A loud beep echoed. Linda's face drained of color. She recognized it immediately: motion sensors, live recording, automatic cloud backup. "Turn that off," she snapped. "I can't," I said. "It triggers anytime someone tries to push me off my own property." Her fake guards hesitated. Not because they feared the law, because they feared exposure. "Don't stand there," Linda yelled. "Grab him." They moved in. But before they got close, the oldest one stopped. He crouched, brushing dirt off an old rusty metal marker embedded in the ground. His expression changed instantly. It was a legal survey marker. And it sat firmly on my side of the property line. "Ma'am," he began, "this marker says." "Shut up," she screamed. She kicked dirt over it like a child caught stealing. "He planted that." But her voice cracked. The facade was falling apart. "That marker," I said calmly, is older than your entire HOA. And there are more. Linda turned pale. Truly pale. Her kingdom was crumbling. You don't understand, she whispered. This can't come out. That told me everything. There was a secret hiding behind that mansion. A big one. Then, right on time, the real sheriff's truck pulled in. I had called him hours earlier. He stepped out, looked at the marker, looked at my documents, then looked at Linda's giant mansion. His face said everything. Linda tried one last desperate move. Sheriff, arrest him. He forged everything. But the sheriff cut her off. Ma'am, county records show this land belongs to his family. Always has. Her knees almost buckled. Then came the biggest twist. We also checked your permits, the sheriff added. You never had permission to build this mansion. Not even the HOA had authority here. Silence. Thick, heavy silence. The fake guards backed away. Her knees almost buckled. Then came the biggest twist. We also checked your permits, the sheriff added. You never had permission to build this mansion. Not even the HOA had authority here. Silence. Thick, heavy silence. The fake guards backed away. Sir, the sheriff said to me, by law, the entire structure falls under your ownership. You can reclaim everything. Linda broke. Completely. You don't understand, she sobbed. If this comes out, I lose everything, the HOA, my money, my reputation, everything. You already did, I said. Court moved fast. The evidence was overwhelming. Linda had stolen land, faked permits, misused HOA funds, and buried every rule she forced on everyone else. The judge's ruling echoed in the courtroom. The mansion returns to the rightful landowner. HOA President Linda is removed and charged with fraud. People gasped. She cried. Justice hit her like a sledgehammer. A week later, I walked through the mansion, my mansion. Wide halls. High ceilings. Her pride and power now legally mine. As I stood on the balcony overlooking the land my father left me, I said the line everyone remembered. She tried to steal my land, but she ended up building my home instead. Her power vanished. My family's land was restored. And the neighborhood finally saw what real ownership, and real justice, looks like.